And we're live one more time on a Sunday fun day with some lighter readings. I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, North American Sybil, messenger of God, child of God, the first child of God. I am the Lilith reincarnated. And today's Sunday. In order to keep up with me, you would have to catch my video from earlier. What did we talk about? A bunch of butterfly messages. Changing your diet, breaking patterns, leaving shitty relationships. Same old shit we always talk about. But I still have a bunch of cards left on my freaking altar, so I need to hurry up and get this done. I have 3 cards left, but these are all fucking major arcanas is what they would call these bitches. So this is gonna take a minute. Get comfortable. I just got out of the spiritual bath and I was like, I asked my spirit team something. It was just kind of random in the car. I just turned off my music and I was like, are they ever gonna wake up? They're like, not if you don't keep teaching them. It's like, damn, that's a terrible answer. Meaning, if you're not awake yet, I just gotta keep going. And even when you do wake up, I still have to keep going. Forever. Oh god, let's talk about the transformation. These are the Lumerian cards. Those are Lumerian seed clear quartz crystals that help with shadow work. You're going through a transformation. All weekend I've been teaching about the dark night of the soul and awakening, and this says you are. I hope you are. I am. I always go through awakenings. Wake up more and more. Wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month! It really is, isn't it though? What number are we on? This is not the right book. That one only goes to the 40s. Wrong book. Wrong book. That's a pretty picture, isn't it though? Let's see. Page 135, 53. Hut, hut. See the mirror. Self-nurturing, going within, time alone, being present with your feelings, cocooning before the butterfly, being gentle on yourself, angelic embrace. We've been talking about this all for at least the last 7 days. This painting started with the name. I needed a hug, so I painted one. During the creation process, the image underwent a profound transformation that paralleled the journey I was taking deep within myself. This card signifies going inwards and being truly present with whatever you are at in your wherever you are in your process. It emits a sense of self-nurture and space that is held as a container for our delicate and vulnerable gestation periods. The awakening is rough. It's painful. I make videos about it all the time, and you hear me cry in my videos. I don't think I can make it through a day without crying. It's very painful. I can't tell you it's anything but, and that's it. You're gonna go into a cocoon and turn into a mushy fucking pile of shit and then somehow grow into something. You can't rush it. I can't tell you how long it'll take you. I can only tell you that nobody can stop you. The quicker you embrace what it really is, and that's literally just a letting go process, each week, the more you can let go, the quicker you can get through this. You can't just run away from things. That's not how it works. You can't just give up all of your belongings and it'll work like that. You have to let go. And that's what draws out is your inability to let go. It's really painful. And and that's it. I've said from the beginning, if you asked anybody, it's in my very first videos. All I ever wanted from someone was just, all I want is a hug. Someone to just hold me while I'm crying. I know you can't fix me. Can't do anything. Don't say anything. Just let me listen to your heart. That's all I've ever said through this whole thing. All I needed was a hug. That was never given to me, and I taught everyone to learn how to hug themselves. To wrap your arms around yourself and hold yourself during this. Nobody's going to come hug you. You have to hold yourself through this. You have to be that nurturer to yourself. You can't be a man about it. You really have to be very caring to yourself when you're going through this, because it's very hard and nobody's going to be understanding towards you. The discipline is the masculine part of you that pushes, but the nurturing that it takes and the courage and the, you know what I mean, the self-love after being so disciplined, that's where it really comes in. Because that's what it is. It's like you can do great things during the day, but when you're in your quiet space with yourself after your actions, you sit alone with your actions, that's where you need to come in and hold yourself. You're not proud of what you did. You're pleased that you were brave enough to do it, but you're still very hurt by your own actions. You've hurt yourself, and you've hurt others. And it's a painful process of just trying to transform into a better version. The final image is filled with blessings, like an angelic embrace. This care emanates, that's not what it should say, it should say like emanates from the being, well, this person, okay, I'm going to stop critiquing them because this was really just all guided. They were not an artist or a writer or anything. Implying that she is created for herself. The most powerful healing comes from a place of presence and acceptance for all that doesn't try to fix anything or push things away. Divinatory meaning. And that's it. There's these moments, bro, where you sit with yourself and you have to let go of that perfectionism and that self-criticism. It's just not useful. It makes things harder. You don't have to drill yourself. It's never about drilling yourself. It's just understanding. I do this. Tomorrow's Monday. I'll be sitting with Kobe and we will relive all this week. Only the parts where he thinks we look together where I should have been kinder, more forgiving, more understanding, softer in my approach. That's it. That's all I can strive to do. You know what I mean? And then I can look at it and see, okay, I started with some bullshit last Monday. He pushed me into fucking Russ's DMs again. Okay, that's what Monday. So what'd you do to me on Tuesday? What'd you do to me? How did we get through this week? And that's it. It's like, you don't look back and be like, geez, why'd you fucking do that? You should have never did that. This is all about growth, bro. Your spirit guide shouldn't let you do that, but don't do that to yourself. You can't tear yourself up when you're trying to build yourself up. You're already tearing yourself up. You don't have to do that. You know what I mean? You're tearing up your outside world. The last thing you want to do is tear up your inside world. You're the only thing in there. Okay? And that's what it is. Acceptance for all that doesn't try to fix anything or push things away. Divinatory meaning. Feel wherever you need to feel. It may be hard to be present with some parts of yourself. Bring them into a cocoon of gentle self-love and reflection. And that's it. Sometimes you got to look back at like how you acted, bro. You don't want to look at how you acted towards people. You don't want to face that part of yourself. But it's not your first time. That's not your first act. And it's not going to be the last one. If you don't start, understanding where these actions come from. And it's not an action, it's a reaction to something. Self-love and reflection and insight will come. The shadows can be released and your heart space will soften. Cry or be angry if this is what you are holding on to, and laugh at the hilarious, ironic, divine perfection of it all. And you'll see me in most of my videos, I am crying so hard and then I sit back and laugh at how stupid it was. I'm seeing this very funny one. Why are so many of them coming out? Because it's like, it's that season. So I'm moving out of Chris's house. I have a weekend to do it. I gotta hurry up. I only have my car. I've accumulated everything. All I really want is this fucking mattress, bro. I will sacrifice everything, including the children and the dog, if I could just take this mattress with me. This is the best sleep I've ever had in this life. I swear to God. But anyways, I have to make all these hard decisions. I just don't have room to take stuff. And I'm sitting there, and I have my old blanket that I left my house with. We had one blanket, and I carried it. I put it on Mr. Plum's bed. I took it everywhere. It was my blanket. We had our blow-up mattress and our blankets and stuff. But then when I was at Chris's house, this woman gave me an enormous blanket and, a whole bedding set, brand new, to go with my new bed. So I'm sitting there and my spirit's like, you have to get rid of the old blanket. I'm like, no, it's all I have. I'm on the floor, guys, and I'm crying about it real hard. I stop in the middle of it and when I pull myself together and make a live video while I'm still doing it. But I'm crying. It hurts just to let go of this blanket. You can go back to my videos in January. I have to make the same decision. I've gotten an air fryer, and now I have to get rid of my mom's suitcase in order for this to fit. And I'm crying, bro. It's just stuff. But the emotional attachment, I put my whole house into that blanket. I put my whole mom into that fucking suitcase. You know what I mean? It's real hard. And then afterwards, I'm like, guys, I gotta tell you how fucking embarrassing this is that I'm crying so bad about a blankie. But I want you to understand that it's real, and you really will, like, things really mean stuff to you. You put a lot of emotional attachment into stuff. And I try to share that with you as I'm going through it. I really try to share with you guys what I went through. You know what I mean? I don't ever hold back. I try, like, if I'm getting screamy and angry, like I'm getting too loud, I try to bring it down, but I can't fix it. I gotta let it come out. Cry or be angry if this is what you're holding on to, and laugh at the hilarious. And that's it. Afterwards, you're like, jeez, that was embarrassing. This card beckons you beyond your... And that's some of the most embarrassing moments. I'm like, oh my God, I cannot. Please don't ever let me relive this moment. And then I look back and I start laughing about it. Let me tell you what I did. This card beckons you beyond your constructed outer self, where you can delve into the beautiful abyss of your being. Revel in the twilight before the dawn and let your wings unfurl. When it comes down to it, bro, the only person that's got to accept you is you. That's what you're doing right now, is you're trying to find acceptance in yourself. You're trying to find understanding in yourself. You're trying to find yourself. Until you find yourself and stand in yourself, and even that, I'm fully stable in myself. Nobody has any idea what's up with me. They don't, like, they're still trying to put a fucking handle on me. They're trying to put a leash, they're putting skin, they're putting names, they're putting all kinds of shit, labels. I'm not any of that. But I guess since all of that lives within me, you gotta call me something. But that doesn't, the external really doesn't make you who you are. It's who's inside with you. Who's those thoughts and those feelings inside of you? Who are you? You don't really know. So you start working through them. And not every thought is you. Like, I get why I think that way, but that doesn't mean that's who I am. I can get to the bottom of this thought. I know I act like this a lot, but that's not who I am. I'm just acting in my feelings. I'm working on those. But if you're not doing any of these action steps, then you're not being you. And nobody really even knows you because you still haven't discovered you. It's a beautiful picture. I like all the feathers. That's what I always said. It's like they always got these transformations. Matter of fact, yesterday I saw my first dragonfly. Another animal of transformation. I used to say, what the fuck am I transforming into? Like, how many sets of wings am I going to have? What kind of weird, freaky, what kind of weird, freaky butterfly am I going to look like? Obviously, like her. Freaky. Super freaky. Yeah. Yeah, it's one hell of a journey. I don't try to sugarcoat it. I don't know anybody that could. And if they did, I'd slap the taste out of their mouth, bro. You're a fucking lie. On God, you're lying. It's not like that, bro. That's not true. That's not what an awakening is. It's the most painful thing of your life. Alright, so we're going to go into the white light. These are just the highest levels of light. These are the Lemurians I have to read on Sunday. These ones I'm not going to read any other time. I'm going to give it a shuffle. Hey, you want to pick? No, there's nobody here to pick a card. It's just me. Let's see. I just want to point out that it's got the wolf spirit on the back of all of them. So, it's the card on the bottom of the deck. Wow. Oracle of Chaldea, number 37. Interesting. Let's see what frequency of the light we're in. We know where we are in the dark. I went to 35. That was pretty damn close. Queen Maeve, she's coming in heavy, dude. The We talked about her for 2 days, plus I showed, yeah. She's coming in. Alright, on page 190 and 191. Alright, continue on your healing journey with enthusiasm, but without forcing things to happen more quickly than feels natural. Hey bro, I thought I could do this in a fucking summer. I knew the concept of what I was supposed to do. You trigger me, I heal, I get better. Oh man, what the fuck. I thought I could, and I kept, and that goes back to my earlier video about the Sigma. It's like that nothing. You're waiting for something. You know that you've done all the work. You're just waiting for something to develop. You can't force shit. People like on the outside are like, where's your God? And the magic's working, and she's never gonna be nothing. You're like, bro, shut up, bro. It's a moment of silence, dude. Shut up. Sometimes the body will be ready to go whilst the mind is still holding on. Other times the mind will need to be patient as the body processes an experience. Trust your own timing and rhythm. There's no need to be impatient or judge yourself. You are summoning the spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. When the time is right, the healing shall happen more easily than if you tried to push forward prematurely. Things are going to work out. Be positive. Well, can we just stop there, or do I have to read 3 pages? That's what I mean. You're summoning spiritual fortitude to tackle an issue which has previously held you back. That's it. You've never even done this before. You're about to do a bunch of shit you never did before, and you got to really dig deep. And you were very afraid to do it. This is real big. Real big. All right. There are times to be present in the body and feeling truth. There are times when being present in the body and feeling our truth is challenging. We may be unsure how to hold space for our own emotional and psychological states. That's what Wolfman said in his video. They're emotionally mushy. Yeah, bro. Don't touch me. Don't say the wrong thing. This body tends to act up when people talk to it the wrong way. I'm working on it, but I'm very temperamental here. My temperance is very, very touchy. In the essence, you're not supposed to be stable during the storm. That's stupid as fuck. That's the opposite of what is happening right now. 1 minute you're okay, 1 minute you're not, because you're going through the feelings. Feelings are fluid. You don't just stay in a happy feeling all day. Happy, snappy, happy, snappy, happy, snappy. I mean, for as long as you can, until something makes you fucking irritated, grossed out, annoyed. There's a billion feelings, bro. Do you have any scepters to feelings and how they all feel? They're always coming and going. Not all of them are great. Like, something stunk. That feels gross. Like, did you wear deodorant? I feel gross. I just got a bad feeling. Shit like that. Oh, I saw that bitch. She gives me a nasty feeling every time I see that fat bitch. Every time. If you don't put your fat ass away, get the fuck away from me, fat ass. Is there something wrong with her fat ass? No. It's her energy, bro. She an ain't shit bitch energy. I can't stand to be around that ain't shit bitch. You know what God does? She puts that ain't shit bitch on the elevator with me every day. Seriously? Fucking at least 3-4 times a day just to fuck with my skin. Like, just fuck, right? Like, fuck, where's the fire emergency? Why do I have to walk out right now? Of all the times I have to walk. Then you laugh at yourself, right? Hilariously. How ironic it is. In the essence, no, bro. Hold space for your emotional and psychological states. Humans are complex creatures, and the authentic healing journey requires us to have patience with ourselves. Meaning, just hold on, I'm acting up. I know I'm acting up. Let me finish this act and figure out what's wrong with me. Seriously, just stand back, bro. Give me a minute. I am fully aware that something gross is coming out of me right now. I gotta see what it is. Stand back. Look for something good in that pile of shit. All I see is corn. I didn't have corn. That's not my shit, dude. You're looking at someone else's. I didn't throw that up. That's your own shit. We need to know when it is safe to delve into a matter with full faith that even if things feel out of control, we are connected to a powerful, supportive spiritual network and our own wisdom. That's enough to handle whatever arises, even if we tremble somewhat during the process. We can imagine the wounded self lives in a room in the mansion of our soul. When that room has not been entered in a long time, it may become a scary place in our minds, a place to avoid. That's a part of how humans protect themselves. Alright, so let's just rip a fucking scab off. How many of you people haven't gone back to the last memory of somebody that died? You don't want to go back to that memory. Well, that's that dirty room of yourself sitting in there hurting by yourself with this memory that you don't want to go back and relive. Yeah, you got a bunch of them. You got all these secret spaces filled with fucking secret shadow spaces of your mind that you avoid with drugs, alcohol, and busyness. There's lots of them. That's why people don't want to sit in the silence, bro, because it kills them, because their past comes back to haunt them. Well, that's you stuck in the past. They're not haunting you. A part of you is hurting in that past moment that keeps haunting you. That's how humans protect themselves. Living in such a split and defended state is not tenable forever, but for a time it can serve a useful purpose, allowing us to build the strength and awareness we need to address the situation. We do what we can to grow and prepare to enter that room, to open and rescue the beautiful aspect of our soul that's been waiting for such a time to come. Hey bro, in the beginning, I'm remembering this, like, that door swung right open and I saw 4 memories, 4 different states of my being, of being being sexually abused as a child. It happened in a matter of thoughts. I'm at the airport. I'm driving to go pick up my next person. It just says go to the west side, right? West side. I'm on my way over there. And I'm thinking to myself, it's the weekend of the Austin Formula 1 race. I was like, damn, I wish I was in Texas. Next thought, fuck Texas. Next thought, why do I say fuck Texas? Next thought, Thelma and Louise. Rape? Next thought, me in the fucking bushes with my uncle. Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god. What happened in the bushes? I'm just driving to the west side. This happened that fast. Thought, vision. Oh my god. I don't get past that vision until I get another vision. Oh, remember this time? Oh my god, that's 4 visions. Body, dude. And I didn't even know of either one of them. Houston, person, I cannot deal with these memories. Hold on. And I had my brain down. That's all I told myself. I will come back to get you. I will come back to get you guys. I'm so sorry. I just can't right now. And I just shut off the visions. I couldn't make them go away after what I saw. I just couldn't deal with them right then. It happened too fast. How fast? Matter of minutes, bro. 4 fucking terribly repressed memories that came out of me saying I wanted to go to Texas. Never wanted to go to Texas. Why? Because of what happened to me in Texas. But then I said something and it had to bring it up. Fuck Texas. Seriously, bro. You don't even know. And sometimes you can't. Like, oh god, I can't think of this right now. You can't think of anything else after it happens. You just can't do it right then. Scary places. Where was that? Somewhere in the back of my mind. There's a bunch of shit back there. It's a very scary place in there. Very scary indeed. That was just the beginning. Seriously? Oh yeah. That was like very beginning. Very beginning of them. Alright. Anyways. We do what we can to grow and prepare to enter that room, to open and rescue the beautiful aspect of our soul that's been waiting for us for such a time to come. That's it, dude. You don't even know this happened to you, and there's a part of you stuck in there and what happened in that experience. You have to go back and relive that experience with yourself. Be yourself in that experience to feel what it felt like to be you during that experience, and then talk yourself out of it. You were stunted at this experience, a piece of you fragmented in this experience. You have to go back and relive it and talk yourself out of it. That's how you heal it. Otherwise, you're just stuck in it now. You're literally stuck in it until you can, that self-love, talk yourself out. A lot of it is reminding yourself that this is an old memory. It already happened. Man, oh, so many of them. And that was that one with Freak Show, bro. It had already been like 15 fucking years. But I am just now finding out that his best friend and wife fucking raped me, and the whole fucking neighborhood knew about it. I am so embarrassed. But it's been 15 years. Everybody already knew about it. They done known and forgot about it. They knew all the details, stuff I don't even know. I only had one image of it. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But it was already done. And that's where you have to remind yourself, you already made it through that. It's over. That's old. That's old. But it feels so fresh, bro. It feels like it's right now. And you're never going to get out of it. You crawl into this memory, bro, and you're in it. That's like a full definition of astral travel right there. You're no longer, you can't get back to your body. You're in this memory until you can talk yourself out of it and bring yourself back and ground yourself. Yeah, I'm not really selling this show, am I? It's just as ugly as I tell you it is. Fuck. But, I mean, Michael Jackson's in there. That's not gonna help anybody. I don't know, guys. It sounds just as bad as it is. I was gonna say it sounds worse than it. No, I can't even make it sound as bad as it really is. And that's why nobody wants to do this shit. I'm very scared of it. Come on. I did it with 2 kids and my dog. You can do it. I hope you can. It's hard. I don't know what's in your memory, bro. But that's what encourages people, when they would see what I would pull out of there and how I'd be broken and shattered and I could get myself up out of those memories. They knew they had to. How could you watch me do it and not do it yourself? It empowered people. Years of them, bro. Every day. Oh God, were they terrible. And that's why Red Rocks, that's where most of them are. They're buried in that dirt, bro. I put my feet on that ground, and it woke me up. So you know how much, that's what I was doing, dude. All that hiking, I was recording my thoughts and pouring out my memories and crying. Biggest part of my healing started on those mountains, bro. That's where I was today. It's like every fucking inch of it, I would take and go hide in there. You know what I mean? Get on a trail and go hide with my feelings and talk about them. I didn't know what I was doing, but I'm glad I did it. Let's see. To prepare for such a heroic healing moment, we can connect with the realms of light as a source of love and strength. During such downtime with the divine, we can learn about ourselves beyond our wounded parts. While we know we have some healing to do, we also understand the long side of our vulnerability. There is courage, wisdom, and confidence. By acknowledging our wounds and also affirming our strengths, we ready ourselves to take our next steps. That's what people, old schools always say, she's so strong. The strength comes by being broken down and rebuilding yourself. I mean, you looked at these things and you're like, damn, you're so strong to survive it. I mean, barely. I am the person that lives, but it's like, no. I became strong by just going through weak moments all the time. You know what I mean? Being brave is what makes you think I'm strong. It doesn't mean I wasn't scared and I didn't want to do it. I just had to do it. It's just I have to do it. While I'm crying the whole time and I'm terrified. I've got to do this. I've got to face this. I've got to say this. I've got to do these things. It's an inner knowing, bro, that you've got to push yourself off this ledge. And it's going to be okay. If I say this, man. And that's, going back to Bobby, bro. I couldn't lie, but I had to own it. He's like, are you homeless? Oh, God, if I tell him the truth, he's never going to talk to me again. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm so scared to tell him the truth. I don't have time to think about it, but in that split second, I'm terrified. My voice is cracking. I've got to tell him what I don't want to tell anybody, and I haven't really fully warned myself until this moment, until someone fully asks me. I tell him, yeah. But I'm like a nomad. I'm not fully, I shower and I cook and I do all kinds of stuff, but yeah, I've lost everything. I'm gonna cry. A couple months ago, the Holy Spirit told me to go to the studio and do a banishment spell in front of them. I did it bravely, but I was scared. I was scared to stand in front of my peers and let them see me like this. I was scared of what they would say to make me feel weak about what I've been through. But when it all happened, I just became super empowered. But it was, I didn't want to. Please, God, don't make me face them. After everything they said about me, please don't make me face them. He did. And I had to do it. And I brought my daughter, too. It's like, I can do these things. I can be brave. I can be brave. Doesn't mean I'm not scared, bro. I just have to, hold it in and do what's right. And then cry about it later. Or scream about it. Or, deal with the feelings later. But I gotta do this. I gotta do what God's calling me to do. You know what I mean? I think about it, Amanda. We were all talking about her, like, recently. Because we're, it's that time. What if I didn't ask? What if I didn't listen to God? You know what I mean? And I didn't tell her no. And I didn't get kicked out of her house. What worse would have happened? There's all these things. It's like, what if I didn't listen to God? I don't have a choice like you. That's that free will. You have a choice to ignore that feeling in your heart. I have no peace. Yesterday, I tried on this belt. I forgot I put it on. I literally put on this little half belt around my stomach to see if it fit. And I was like, oh, it fits. And I just kept walking. And when I paid for my shit and I walked out the store, and I'm out, bro. I made it out. I stole the shit. I'm already out. I get to the car and I look down. I'm like, oh, fuck. This fucking belt is on me. Millie, I gotta take it back. She's like, Mom, you already got it. No, I can't. I can't. I walked straight in the store and I just took it off and put it down in the store. I'm not even going to pay for it, dude. I'm giving it back. I'm sorry. Another person would have said, fuck it. It's mine. I can't. Every time I would have put that belt on, I would have felt like a fucking thief. I would have constantly, the second I drove away, I would have been waiting for the police to pull me over. Not for the belt, but because of karma. Because I'm a thief now. I knew better. I knew what I did was wrong and I didn't go back and make it right. That's how strong it is. I don't have those choices, bro. If I said something and I'm sure that I lied in that video, I gotta come back and say, no, I'm lying, bro. That's not true. That's not how it went down. Or if I, you know what I mean? If I'm fully aware that I fucked up a story or something, I can't. My moral compass points north, bro. And I'm fully aware that if I do this, this is gonna equal full destruction. In the beginning, after Bobby, God told me to a tree. He liked me. He totally liked me, and I just didn't notice it. And I just was looking at God like, no way, bro, I'm not gonna do this. It's gonna ruin our friendship. He's just gonna reject me. It's gonna get weird in the studio. He's already got a girl, a baby mama, and some more shit. This is gonna be so weird. I'm not doing this. And the Holy Spirit's telling me, but what about you? You like him, don't you? I mean, yeah, he's cool. It's like, well, don't you matter? Like, don't you want to give yourself a chance? I'm like, nah, I don't. And it's this whole, it's what is acknowledging that I have feelings and I deserve to take a chance on myself. That's all it was. I knew exactly what was going to happen. They told me what was going to happen, that they were both going to, I was going to lose Bobby and Tree doing this. But I fought for so long, for over a week, saying, no, I don't like him. And then the Holy Spirit kept bringing him into my fucking fruition, right? And then they're like, go look at his page. And then I started looking at him like, in a sexy way. I'm like, oh, God, this is getting so much worse. And the Holy Spirit's like, if you don't do this, we're not going to, there's no going forward until you take your shot. Oh, God. And... and he completely rejects me, and it was terrible. Christian, go get in the shower because you have school tomorrow. He completely rejects me, and it's totally embarrassing, and I wish I would just die, and it's about to get weird, and I just like, fuck, why did I ever do that? Like, Jesus. But it was the beginning. of me starting to take my shot. You know what I mean? Just, I don't know, caring about myself. That's what I realized, you know, the thing with Bobby is, the story goes way back. I put his baby mama above me. And I did it again when I, you know, his second baby mama and wife, I did it again. You know, when he said that he was married, I pretended like, okay. And I pushed my feelings to the side and acted like, you know, and I kept trying to fight it. No, you don't need to be talking to this guy. No, 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 no. No. I kept trying to do everything to turn it off. It was making me psycho, trying to turn these feelings off. It was making everything worse than what I was going through. I meet Tree, tell him this whole story. He's like, I don't know where we're going to go with this, but your soul is crying out for help. That's how I met this guy. And I tell him the story, and he's like, you just need to accept you have feelings for the dude and go with him. He gave me permission when I wouldn't. If I would have asked anyone else, they would have never given me permission to go after some married guy. He said, just accept it. Now, mind you, this guy's got his baby mama, a girlfriend, and hella side chicks, and he just happens to be hiking with this chick, a complete stranger chick that he's never met on, you know, at Red Rocks. Of course, his advice would be to go for it. Douchebag. Take your advice. Then I try to go for you, and you run like a bitch. Oh, you're making it up. I'm not making up shit. Douchebag. I would have never even tried if I didn't feel it was safe. We were already a friendship, and people already thought we were messing around, and we were very close. I could call him in the middle of the night. I could call him first thing in the morning. I could call him anytime and tell him what I was going through. I was very close with him. He was like, you know, I called him my spiritual healer in the sense of I was just dumping out all this stuff. And he said it was spiritual. Okay, cool. And, all of it was steps to acknowledging my feelings. How I felt towards a person and walking in those feelings. Fighting my mind, though. And that's the twin flames. You know, after I would walk towards them, there wasn't much more. They'd just run away. Well, that didn't work, God. And that's what he taught me. What did he teach me? And I teach everyone. Love them until it hurts. Never stop loving them. Just go love another. You never really stop loving a person. It just hurts too much to continue loving them. You don't stop loving them. You just move on from loving them. And you go love someone else. And that's what God said for us to do. You don't stop loving them. You never stop loving anyone. And it hurt just as bad to walk away. I loved you that much, bro. And then God said to walk away. Do you know how you don't know. You've never walked away from something you love. I had to walk away from everything I love. Over and over. He kept bringing him back. Only for us to keep walking out of each other's lives. Do you know how much I have to master this? The walking away? I just know what I gotta do. It doesn't mean that the feelings aren't there every time, bro. It hurts like hell. I can pretend to sit here and be all, you know, mature about the fact that, you know, Bobby ghosted me after that, and I had to get over it, but to tell you how that felt, bro, when I realized he was never going to call me back after this, that I literally just did it again. I just gave myself to this man and he ghosted me again. Exactly what I thought was going to happen, that I ran from for 2 years. He did it again to me. Man, I didn't feel like a winner right then, you know? But I learned my lesson. Yeah, these things aren't easy, bro. And that's in your quiet space. And my kids have seen it, bro. Fuck, have they seen it. I don't always tell them what I'm dealing with. But they'll walk in and I'm shattered. And I just have to tell them I'm doing shadow work. There's a part of me that hurts really bad right now. I'll be okay. And that's it, you know what I mean? I used to try to hide, try to get it all together before they got home from school or something. Oh, I couldn't. And that's it at any time. It's like, you know, what's wrong, Mom? They don't ask anymore. They know I've had a hard life and that shit comes back up to haunt me. But they also know that give her a minute, she'll be okay. You know what I mean? That's one thing, is give me a minute to work through it. I'll be okay. I haven't made it this far without working through my feelings. But they fucking kill, bro. And that's where you learn to master your feelings, in the sense of you're not afraid of them, and the ones that you really have been avoiding, you've become, I wouldn't say friends with, but comfortable. I know when I hit a certain level of cry that it's over. And then I'm going to be able to stop it, start wiping my face, taking in some breaths, and it's over. It didn't used to be that way. I'd cry until I couldn't stop crying. I'd go to sleep crying, and I'd wake up crying. You know? There's things now, anything can make me cry. What was I crying about yesterday? What was I crying about today? I'm always crying about some shit. They're feelings. Not all of them are a painful cry, but some of them are. You know, what was it? I was watching 3 Men and a Baby, and he's trying to describe, he's like, I don't know what it is, but I don't feel good. He's like, well, the guys are messing with him, and he's like, I miss the baby. I miss her. It took him forever to acknowledge this feeling inside of him, and he's like, I miss her. I gotta do something. You know, it took him a minute, like that man, it's like, I don't know what this feeling is. What's making me feel this way? Give me a minute. I gotta work through this. No, I'm not hungry. I'm not tired. I'm not... Something else is bothering me. Yeah, it's the transformation. And you don't really know what's bothering you. You just know you're bothered. You really don't know what it is. You just know you're not happy like other people. You know? Let's move on. And that's to prepare for such a heroic healing moment. And that's where it is like God's calling you. I mean, God called me to reach out to Bobby weeks. I was running from him. I'd already been in Denver for weeks. Dude, I can't even make it up, bro. My temp agency was literally within a mile or mile and a half from his house that I was going to every morning before work. Then I had to go after work to get my pay. I was running from the possibility that I would see him. I'm like, oh my God, please don't let me see him. Please don't let me see him. I'm doing everything to avoid it. But, you know, it's like, all right, you have to. And that's where I got myself in spiritual jail with, because of some shit that I had with Wolfman. And then my only get out of jail free card is to reach out to Bobby. That's the only thing they'll let me do. To get out of this hell of my mind, this dark place where it's just constant judgment of how I talk to this guy. The only way I can get out of this is to reach out to Bobby. They've literally locked me up, and the only way out is to reach out to this guy. So I do it. And it becomes a whole fucking shit-ass ride that I'd been avoiding for 2 years. I just didn't want to get hurt. I didn't want him to get hurt. I'd been hurting for too long. I didn't want him to hurt me. You know what I mean? I wasn't wise enough. I'm getting played by people left and right. I don't want to get played by this guy. I know he just wants to hook up with me. And I really love him, and I've got to be careful with this, bros. Don't. But I'm denying that I want to see him. I really want to see him, but I don't want him to fuck me and leave me. What happens? Well, I didn't fuck him, but he still did the same thing. I was avoiding a lesson, bro. But in the lesson, I mean, yeah, I got hurt, but I also got to see him, bro. It had been 2 years that I'd been running from him. I still didn't understand what happened. And I finally got that hug that I needed all those years. It was weird, too. It wasn't all bad. I wish I could stop talking about it, you know, but these were monumental healing moments. You would say traumatizing, but no, they were healing. What Russ did with Santiago, bro, that day, it was unbelievably painful. But to see myself act like that was such a healing moment. Yeah, I put on a great show like I didn't feel anything and you didn't mean anything and that didn't hurt me. And that's where I needed to heal. I was so detached from how bad it hurt, how humiliated and embarrassed I was, that I could literally turn it off and everybody saw it. That's when I knew I needed help, bro. I needed to work harder. How can you just turn off your feelings and act like things don't hurt you? And that explained a lot of my life right then. How I could just go through things and act like it didn't happen. And the Holy Spirit kept taking me back to it. And I'm like, do you want me to hurt? Are you trying to make me hurt? I thought they were trying to hurt me with it. I couldn't see that it actually hurt me. I was so detached from it because when it happened, I literally just turned it off as it's happening. Let me get some tissue. And that's it too, is like you don't want to admit how painful this moment was. I think I'm getting not so comfortable here with this throat. Ugh, you hear all that? Yuck. Anyways, let's move on. It's hard. By acknowledging our wounds and also affirming our strengths, we ready ourselves to take our next steps. The Chaldean is the devotee of the lights, to the light of spirit. When the oracle of Chaldea comes to you, rely on the light. Embrace to help you feel connected to the light. Grow your trust in the spirit within you. Need healing. It's about knowing at a deep level that you are loved, spiritually guided, divinely held, worthy, and capable of healing. As you trust in the spiritual light within you, your connection to the spiritual world increases, so too will your readiness to acknowledge. I'm getting a download. You better not do that to me, God. Oh, God. What? I'm getting a cold, bro. And it's not it's obvious. Both of my kids were sick. I had a stomach thing of my own, but my daughter had a hell of a cold. I've had to take them to the doctors. They've been out for almost a week with it, and I'm getting it in my throat. And I'm like thinking to myself, in that moment, I'm like, you're going to have to call off work and start later. You better not tell me that bullshit. But in the essence, they definitely don't want me to come in and get everyone sick either. We'll see how I feel tomorrow. I'm not supposed to start till Tuesday, but if I get worse, then I might have to push my start date back. And it's not a terrible thing. You know what I mean? It's just being respectful of the fact. Like, I can come in and start under these circumstances, but this is not a good start for any of us. And that's just the truth. And he gave me his cell phone number. The director is going to be out till Wednesday, and his assistant director will meet me on Tuesday, but if there's anything else, I can call him in between time. So I have his cell phone to call him and tell him if I'm not well. But that's not helpful, God. I better be okay tomorrow. My throat has been getting worse all day. So too, let's see, as you trust in the spiritual light within you and your connection to the spiritual worlds increase, so too will your readiness to acknowledge and engage with what needs healing. You feel safe and supported and ready to move on. You feel your relationship with spirit is already strong enough to support such a process. In this case, the oracle is an encouragement to embrace your readiness and allow the grace of your spiritual journey to expand into all areas of your life. This oracle argues a spiritual growth spurt. I don't know if that's what that word says. Augurs. I don't know what that word is. I said argues. I don't know what that word is. A spiritual growth spurt. A forward leap on your path of healing and awakening. It is a reminder that no matter how large a challenge may loom, you can continue to grow your spiritual connection. So it is always more powerful than anything else. You're going to be asked to be strong and do things that you could never do. And you're going to have to thug it out and do the things you think you cannot do. All that I hear, that's just stinking thinking. Healing process. Find a comfortable position in which to relax. If you'd like to light a candle for this process, do so with care for safety and consideration. I don't like candles usually, but I'll do it for you in this. Why? Just because of care and consideration. I'm not supposed to. Oh, I don't even know if I have a lighter up here. I think they're all in my car, to be honest. I don't smoke anywhere, so I leave everything in the car. Let me see. Oh, I do. Okay. Well, we're definitely going to light the white candle for purification. Otherwise, I would light a blue one for healing. Okay. Just for you. Yeah, I know that candle looks weird. Why? Because of the heat? It melted all weird? You can't really leave candles in your cars. They do weird things. Alright. Let's see. You can light a candle. This is not about ignoring where you need healing. It's about... No, that's not where we were. We're way down here. You could also have a crystal or anything else that reminds you of the light. Place where you can gaze upon it. Connect consciously to your breathing. Notice the flows of the breath in and out. Allow your breath to lengthen and deepen naturally. Let yourself become fully present in the moment. You can then imagine, feel, visualize, or intend that you are drifting into a beautiful realm of light. You may like to close your eyes or gaze at a beautiful crystal or flickering candle to help you relax and sense the light of an inner level. Allow your awareness to dwell in the soft and inviting inner realm of light. Let it be pleasurable and soothing experience. Let the light take on various colors if that suits you. What colors feel best? You can imagine, feel, visualize, or intend that your soul can absorb those colors with delight and pleasure, as though an inner hunger or thirst is being fulfilled, resulting in further peace and relaxation. Be in this process of light bathing color therapy for as long as it feels good for you. When you are ready, ground yourself with some gentle physical movements and hydrate your body. You have completed your healing process. Let me blow this out. Candles are always good for that. Staring at a fireplace, even if it's a fake one, that works too. Water, they call it water scrying. You can stand at a candle, you could stare. Mirrors are weird, I don't do mirror magic. Why? Because I know what's on the other side of the mirror. And I'm Lilith, I'm not letting anything through that mirror. Truthfully, I wouldn't mess with the mirrors. It's really just finding a peaceful place. I can stare, I can zone out anywhere, bro. I could look you dead in your forehead and completely zone out and not even know what the fuck he was talking about, bro. Like I wasn't even there. In the essence, I'm deep in another realm of my feelings, thoughts, or in another spiritual realm where I'm getting downloads and like literally having conversations with, entities while you're just running your mouth in front of me. Better make sure that what you say is good, because otherwise you're gonna lose my attention real quick. I mean, I'll stay there for a minute. I'll stay still for a minute, and then I'll be like, okay, have a nice day. Sorry, it's not against you, it's just me. My attention span. It's, if I stay quiet for too long, I'm going somewhere else. I'm going to another quiet land. Alright, we spent 53 minutes on it. I've cried real hard, my throat hurts. I'm a little under the weather. What's the last one? We have our Lightworker cards. Lightworker. So this one came first. This one came second. This one came third. That's how we did them. They came in different stages, and we just went through higher levels of light. So I don't always read them all at the same time, but they're all of the light. And they're, as I say, the highest levels of light until we enter a new level. And that's it. It's like, how low can you go? I don't know. We just keep getting lower on this bitch. Number 32, Divine Grace and the Law of Efficiency. Oh, praise God. That's what that one looks like. I'm going to try to read this as fast as possible because I'm tired. You can hear it. 98 and 99. It is a time your life became easier. It's time your life became easier. It's time for you to walk the way of divine grace and trust, simplicity and acceptance. You do not have to try to make things happen. You can gracefully act without attachment and trust that all will be as it's meant to be. Surrender your strength now as you allow life to serve you with love and kindness. This is the most efficient use of your energy and will lead to the best results. This is going to go back to chasing, I think, receiving. and chasing. The law of efficiency encourages us to work smarter rather than always work harder. It's like learning to allow a wave to carry you to the shore rather than swimming the entire way with your own efforts alone, or even against the current, which would make the journey even harder. It's like planting a seed at the right time so nature will help it bloom in the spring rather than planting it during the dead of winter when it takes a lot of effort to keep it alive. And even then it may not survive. This is the intelligence of the law of efficiency and the divine grace at work. To hitch your wagon to the universe in this way, you need to learn to listen. This means tuning into what feels right or wrong at any given time. You have to start learning that. You have to start relearning. It's not relearning. You have to give yourself a new program. You're not programmed to listen to your feelings. You're programmed to listen to your thoughts. Now, I'm not telling you to turn off your thoughts. You have to continue listening to your thoughts. Otherwise they'll get louder and they'll start screaming at other people because you're not listening. You have to listen to your thoughts. You have to act in your feelings. I want you to start practicing this. Practicing on working with your intuition. Everybody's very, in awe. How did you know? I don't know. I feel it. I go with all of my feelings. When you learn what feels good, then you're walking in truth. You have to learn your feelings, right? So start to be aware of the things, how things make you feel, first off. And then start trusting those feelings. Like when you get to go, you're about to go out the door, and then you get a feeling like, I don't want to. Act in that. Act in that new feeling instead of disregarding that feeling. You're repressing your emotions, and that's your intuition. Your intuition told you, no, I don't feel like this is a good thing. Your mind will talk you into some stupid shit, bro, but your stomach will tell you. It'll toss and turn when you're about to make a bad decision. It'll keep, your body will keep trying to tell you something's wrong. When your mind can't see what's going on, when people are lying to your face, when the blinders are on, there's something inside of you that's telling you that it's wrong. Okay, there's also another thing inside of you that tells you that it's right. First, you got to listen to those wrongs. Get away from the wrongs. And that's it. It's like, I know this doesn't look right. It feels right. So I know this is the right thing to do based on this feeling. Logically, no. I know I'm not supposed to be talking to a married man. God has been forcing this on me. I know I don't want to do this. I know this is going to end badly. I fucking know it. I am going with my feelings and stopping denying my feelings. My heart says I have to meet this guy. My mind has been telling me no for 2 years. I'm going to give in to my heart and see what happens. You have to fight your mind through this, and you have to start working through your heart. And that's it, all of them. Don't say that, don't do that. Your mind knows what's going to happen, and it tries to stop you from failure. The failure is the closure. And that's what goes back to it. It's like, my mind knew the second that God said to tell Amanda no, that bitch was going to kick me out. Why would I stay there if my mind knew that? Why would I stay there in a position to give that person that much power? Meaning, I knew that I was helpless, but I didn't care until I saw it for myself. My mind knew that if I told her no, she would kick me out. Why would I be in a house with somebody that if I tell them no, they're going to throw me to the curb? My mind wouldn't, you know what I mean? And that's why it told me, it's like, don't do this because this will happen. It's trying to protect me from the worst. But at the same time, it took me into the worst scenario, protecting me. It let me believe she was my friend, knowing she would kick me out at the drop of a dime. That's that fucking inner knowing, bro. You know if you say this to her, how they're going to act. I know, so let's not say it. Or how about we face the fact that this is how they treat you. And you can't just keep acting like this. It was one day, bro. It happened to be her daughter's birthday. But if I would have said no to her at any time, she would have kicked me out. That's giving her too much power, and that's not my friend. You would say God set me up, but no, he woke me up, bro. And she already had the stories to prove it, dude. She had told stories how other people had come out there and she was all lonely and how, you know, they just came out and then left. No, you kicked them out, bro. Just like you're doing me. She brings people in only to push them away. Sound like somebody we know. Don't we all do that? In the essence, yeah, that's gonna walk you into some fucked up shit. Just telling you the truth. Let's see. This means tuning into what feels right and wrong at any given time. Sometimes you'll want to push forward, yet you intuitively knowing will guide you to rest. Sometimes you'll want to hide from a challenge, and yet know in your bones it's time to step up and shine with boldness, despite the fear you may feel. That's like this stupid Rust show. I don't want to fucking see your bitch ass, bro. The first time I saw you, you started all these problems, bro. All I did was buy a ticket to your fucking show, and all this happened. The last thing I ever want to do is go to another one of your fucking shows. Right? Right? Do you see how this is a pattern? I don't want to do this again. The last time I did this worked out terribly. I don't want to do this again. I'm not buying a ticket, and especially to Red Rocks. I'm not going to see anybody at Red Rocks but me. It's my twin flame. The Holy Spirit wants me to fight everything. They're literally getting me a job to buy the fucking ticket. They want me to face him again. To stand in that crowd and look upon him without all this anger and all this pain and all this frustration and all of this unforgiveness that he has caused me in the last 2 and 3 years. They want me to stand before him and just be free. Like all of this didn't happen. You're fucking crazy. I'm gonna run my car into his fucking bus. I'm not there yet. I'm really not there yet. That's what I told Marshall. I'm not buying a ticket. I'll catch him during fucking sound check. I'm gonna check the shit out of that fucking guy's sound. In the sense of, I'm not ready for this. But they want me to. They want me to fucking be ready by the time he gets here. To face him. Am I facing him or am I facing myself and my own fears? My own hurts, my own pains. These are all my own feelings, bro, that I allow to be channeled through him. Facing him means I have to face myself and what I've been through with him. I have to face it all, to let it go. And that's what I had to do with Bobby. I had to face it all. That's what I had to do with Tree. I had to face it all, to stand in front of that fucking studio to face you. It doesn't matter if you don't want to face me. I have to face me. I have to face me. The universe has a sense of natural flow, cycles, and timing that assures us that it supports every dream we dare to dream. And that's it. Are you going to give him a chance to humiliate you again? God wants me to. God wants me to stand in front of him and give him that chance again. Is that what you want to do, Russ? Do you want me to stand in front of you so you can humiliate me in front of your girlfriend, your family, and all of your fans? Is that what you've been waiting for? Is that what this all comes down to, is we stand face to face and you literally hurt me? You get to see it in my face now instead of just on the internet? You get to see the pain? Is that what we're coming to? Is that what you're hoping for? That's all I see when I see you is my pain. That's all I see in any of you is my pain. Why do I want to look at you? Looking at you just means I gotta look at my own pain. Welcome to the twin flame journey. I don't know who romanticizes this bullshit. We're like, oh my god, I just want to be with you. Do you know how painful this is going to be to have to face you? Do you know how painful it was to face Bobby? Do you know how painful it is to face my past? I have to be brave enough to face the things I never faced before, which is just me. in my feelings about what you did. I like to say I hope God never does that to you people, but I don't know. He might, you know what I mean? Going back to 50 Cent and fucking Joe Budden. They put him fucking right in front of each other at a game. They couldn't even face each other, bro. He might put you right in front of the very people you've been running from your whole life. You're gonna have to man up or woman up or whatever it is. You're gonna have to up your shit, bro, and face it. It's hard. Fucking mirrors. These motherfuckers. And his fucking tickets are expensive. God, if you don't give me a free ticket to this bullshit, to my own pain fest. I mean, seriously, why am I paying for my own pain? Oh, God. Sounds like some kind of fucked up therapy. Pay to be hurt. I'm not paying to be hurt. Alright, anyways. Sometimes you want to hide from the challenge, knowing in your bones that it's time to, fill it in my jellies. The universe has a sense of natural flow, cycles and timing, blah, blah, blah. It may not look exactly as you expect, but if you have set in the motion with desire and intention, karmic law will ensure that it finds expression. This is a karmic law. For this to happen in the most loving, graceful, and easy way, you must learn to heal, feel, and sense the currents of life and work with them, rather than pushing against them. This is about common sense, allowing yourself to be helped, not making things more difficult for yourself than they need to be. In the essence is, if I don't face him in July, then I'm just running from him for another year, or however long it takes to line up with that douchebag again. He keeps trying to tour around me. Just get it over with. This is not going to be great. Imagine that you have... That's why I tried to ask Allie. Allie, you want to be my date for the Rush show? Let's hurt him back. Never mind. I gotta take this by myself. Imagine that you have a chance to share... And that's what happened last time. I just bought my ticket. And I did this all to myself. Fuck did I buy a ticket to your stupid show? Imagine that you have a chance to share a feeling of love in a room full of receptive people. I mean, that too. They want me to burn sage and shit. It's like, you're gonna know I'm in there. I'm the only bitch burning sage at your show. This time is right. They are open, and your efforts create maximum effect for love success. I know. Can you imagine his shitty-ass girlfriend? She is plotting the most painful revenge on me. I'm gonna go shit all over her red rocks. Bitch, the sand will suck you up. You better watch where you step on that dirt. It's not about my dirt. You're stepping on ancestral land. You better be careful what you're doing up there, and I'm their chosen one. Don't get too fucking in your thoughts with this. This might hurt you a lot more than you think you're gonna hurt me, my friend. They judge you by your thoughts, bitch. I know you think this is your opportunity to hurt somebody, but you're gonna get hurt with that kind of fucking mentality. Or you could expend the same amount of time and energy arguing with one disinterested person in an attempt to get them to understand and receive your love, even though they actually have no interest in doing it. That would be your husband. I keep calling you guys a couple like that. I keep speaking it on you. You're going to get married and have babies. Why? Because my fucking words come to life. They just wish to have their own point of view and for you to agree with that. And that's all he does, is he wants me to believe he's happy with you. And you want me to believe in you. I don't believe your bullshit, bro. I cannot believe you. You guys are fucking bullshit. And you'll do whatever just to prove this lying point. Okay, whatever. One is working with the law of efficiency and the other is working against the tide of life. It's not bad to choose the harder way. Sometimes it can be a great learning experience. But you are being encouraged with this oracle to explore the easier, most graceful way more often, especially at this time in your life. Because there is a helping hand, a natural wave of energy in your life that is going to be able to support your rising spirit in manifesting something truly beautiful and special in this world. That's a good point. I got a download. That's a fucked up point. Damn, he's gonna get really mad if I say that. He's always mad. Fuck him. It's not like he cares about my feelings. Anyways, when I stand before Russ and show that I'm not in love with Russ, then that shows my future man that Russ doesn't stand between us. That's what they just showed me. By doing this, I show the world that Russ doesn't stand between us. He sure wants to. If anybody has any objections, that's that guy. A natural wave. Anyways, that's not what he wants to hear. He's gonna get even more mad hearing that. I don't know what he wants. I don't even. At this point, should I care? I was just trying to help a motherfucker, bro. All he's done is try to hurt me this whole ride. All I've tried to do is help him from the beginning, bro. All he's trying to do is hurt me. This is a stupid ride. Everybody has one dark twin flame. He's an asshole. The law of efficiency, also sometimes known as the path of least resistance, we must find. That's a fucked up me. Damn, my Holy Spirit's mean. You're like, invite Bobby. Oh God, I think he likes you more than I do. Oh God, my Holy Spirit is mean. Oh God. Marshall, how about you just call your buddy and get me a ticket and meet me there? That'll set all this on fire. Just kidding. I have to face my own fucking dragons. We must find the strength that comes from letting go. That's just mean, isn't it? Call Bobby. Hey, you want to go with me to the Rush show? We can have sex on the mountain afterwards. Sure, why not? Just messing around. We must find the strength that comes from letting go and trusting that our universe knows what it's doing. It takes spiritual maturity to... I mean, at this point, dude, who can I take to the Rush show? Me taking anyone would piss him off. He wants me to be all alone. Hey, I'm fine by myself. I'm fine. I love myself. It takes spiritual maturity to concede. And you just want me to buy a second ticket. Your ticket's prices are expensive. It takes spiritual maturity to concede to wisdom greater than your own immediate understanding. Then, I know, I could just call Jordan. He does all the fucking videography up there. He could get me in. Why am I doing this? I don't even want to sit in front. Can I just meet you out front of your bus in front of... It's a lot of shit. And it's a walk. And I don't want to sit in there for you. Or any of your performers. No offense, Big Sean, but you're not worthy of me sitting at Red Rocks watching you perform. This is a holy ground. Who the fuck let you perform there? It was Russ. He just thinks he can do it wherever he wants. Anyways, then you are surfing the wave rather than swimming against the current. How efficient to work with life and its cycles rather than believing you must struggle and strain to be heard, loved, rewarded, and inspired. You have that maturity within you. Trust now. Trust that all will come in time. God's timing. Invocation. Can I pray for you? Okay, I'm going to. I call upon the loving grace and master intelligence of the universe through the laws of efficiency in the path of least resistance. Please bless and guide us now in all ways for maximum success, joy, and divinely inspired fulfillment. May our efforts be wise and surrendered, powerful and efficient. May all beings be assisted through divine mercy to discover the path of grace and divine efficiency. Through my own free will and conditional love and divine grace, so be it. Well, you know the next card is Master Healing. You need to get to this first page, this first step of healing to get to the Master Healing. I mean, in essence. We're going to have to cut off the finger before we can cut off the wrist. What are we taking? The whole arm? Might take your whole torso. 33. Master Healing, 33. What does that look like to you? Looks like fucking Melchizedek up there again. Hey, I just need to let you guys know, with that being said, the planets and stuff, the northern lights are coming in. It's not just a light show, bro. That's a magnetic, they said it, it's a magnetic fucking storm. What do we talk about over here? Energy. It's a magnetic storm. That means you're magnetizing some shit. Is it good shit or bad shit? I don't know. But it's coming to you through the lights. What did we just say? The lights. I mean, do you want it to come to you in the dark? It's coming, whatever it is. What is it? Your karma? A fortuna? The wheel of fortune. Boop, 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 boop. It's not good. Don't get excited. You don't get a prize. It's more like, surprise! I don't like surprises. One of those. Isn't that a lot? I mean, that's just my journey. And that's what's next on my plate of bullshit. Sorry, that was even worse. They're like, invite Wolfman. What could I possibly... I mean, there's not one person on this planet I could take to the fucking Russ show that wouldn't get under Russ's fucking feathers. Rustle his feathers. Meanwhile, who's he gonna bring? His same-o, same-ho? Bring the mom, too. Let's really see how strong I've gotten in my healing. Let's do magical wars up there. As if. You have no magical power once you hit the fucking rock, bro. Stupid. Third rock from the sun. Humans. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew he was going to see me if he went there. He knew I couldn't say no. He knew my spirits would get him. He knew. He knew. You can't go to my house. That's what Bobby says. Do you live there? I mean, if I could afford the land, there is a house over there that they're selling for $1 million, but it's a whole shithole, and all I want is the land. I'm going to fucking beat that thing down and just live in my car on it. If I could, I would. I would live there if I could. Mother Cabrini did, right up the hill. I'd have the best neighbors ever. Between them and skinwalkers, it'd be the best. Let's go sit outside and watch the spirits run wild through these trees. Scary shit happens out here. You're gonna love this. Really? Oh man, you have no idea what happens over there. I brought something home once. It tried to rape me. Got on my top of my chest and choked me out. Really? Oh yeah, there's all kinds of great stuff up there. All the more reason to go to a concert up there, right? Get drunk. Eat Chick-fil-A and shit. They sell Chick-fil-A. Yeah, they do. I don't understand it, but yeah, they sell not on a Sunday. But every other day, yeah, up until midnight, you can get a Chick-fil-A sandwich during a concert up there. I don't know what kind of cool thing they have there, but you can get Chick-fil-A. People are always coming down with them. I'm like, damn, that's some good shit. Does it cost more to get chicken on a mountain than it does at a store? I don't know. I have a lot of questions about it. I've never been to a concert up there. I just do all kinds of praising. I am the concert. I'm doing all kinds of shows down there. Speaking of which, they wouldn't let me on the top of the mountain because they were already getting ready for a concert. I felt terrible about it. I almost felt terrible. Like, I almost thought about what I sent to Wolfman. I was all, fuck him. He's in waterproof gear. But these people were just hiking on a nice pretty day, and here comes the fucking torrential fucking Miami rains, just whoosh, whoosh. I felt so bad. The wind was blowing my car, my 900-pound car, and I'm like, there are people on that mountain right now waiting for a concert. This shit is deadly. I felt so bad. I had to apologize. I'm like, I'm sorry, Denver. I'm sorry that I called in such a storm. Get off the mountain. There's people all over those mountains. I felt terrible for them. I almost, like I said, after seeing them and watching this fall on them, I was like, damn, that's fucked up. I almost felt sorry for Wolfman, but no. Almost, but no. I care more about my own than you. There's some healing to be done there, obviously. I'm never going to be done with my healing. Why? Because I'm the Lilith, bro. There's so many dark flavors to me. Just when you think I'm all love and light, here I come to wreck your day. Did you catch Saturday? I was off full of darkness. I was super Lilith. It was my superpower day. What am I going to be tomorrow? Be in the moon day energy. Hey, take the journey. Every time I say that, I think about what I told you and how scary it is. Never doing what she says. Fine, then just sit there and be my biggest fan. And then somebody will take it with me, and you're going to be regretting that you never listened to your own heart and did some brave shit yourself. It's not brave jumping out of a fucking plane when you've been trained to do it and you practice on the ground 500 times. That doesn't make you brave. Lewis driving his stupid car at 200 miles an hour doesn't make him brave. He's an idiot. They're all doing the same shit. They're trained to do stupid shit. That doesn't make them brave. It means they're trained dummies. That's me. Being brave is doing some shit that nobody's ever done before. And that you really don't know how this is going to work out, but you've got a good feeling about it. Oh, when I quit my job. What? When I lost my house. I got a good feeling about this. What? I mean, I didn't. I was terrified. I knew I was going to lose my house. I knew that was the consequence of not paying my bills. I knew that day would come. But then when the day came, I acted like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I was not grateful about losing my house, bro. Only later, when I realized how hard I worked to keep that house and how unhappy I was in it, was I grateful that I let it go. I worked double jobs. most of the time. I did a lot of shit to keep that house. And I didn't even like my neighbors. I hated the house. I sat on the porch, just like I do everywhere else I go. I just sit outside. It wasn't even about the house, bro. But I promised, it was a promise that I'd never lose it. I'd never go homeless. I'd never, you know what I mean? I'd never end up in a shelter again. None of that. I'd come out of domestic violence, all of that. I tried to hide all that. Nah, man. God wanted me to relive all of that so I can regrow my strength. So I wasn't ashamed of it. Before I was ashamed. When Bobby met me, I'd just gotten that house. I'd just gotten out of the shelter. I was on my way, to divorcing. I invited him to my divorce party. I was just taking baby steps to my life, but hiding it. I didn't want him to know what I came from. I was trying to look better on paper than I looked in real life. And that's why I didn't give myself a chance. If he knew what I'd been through, he would never accept me. He wouldn't want me, And, so I was ashamed of my strength, bro. I finally left him, bro. And I took hell to finally get a house, to finally get on my own 2 feet. I should have been proud of myself. Instead, I was ashamed, and I was trying to hide where I was because it wasn't where I wanted to be. I just got a house. I have to build a life. So when he came to my house 5 years later, and it looks like, all nice and shit, I'm still living in the memory of, I just got this house. I just, and I literally told him before I walk in my house with him, I'm like, I came from homelessness. I had to piece everything together. It's very humble. Not realizing that's not at all what he saw when he walked in there. You know what I mean? I had my living room and an enormous 72-inch fucking screen TV there. Then my dining area, what should have been a dining area, I had completely changed. I hung curtains and made into my son's room that had its own TV and its own Xbox and its own setup and everything. Then my daughter had her own room with all of her shit. Then I had my room with a master bedroom and all of this shit. And he looked at me, I have 2 cars. I'm like, let's go for a ride. And I have to pull out my other car out of the garage for us to go in that car instead of this car, because I don't want to take him in my old car. I'm like, well, let's take the better car, I guess. So he thinks that I look good, but to him it's like I'm trying to explain this isn't the best, and I'm not grateful for anything I have. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed, I'm jealous, excuse my neighbors, I'm sorry about my house, I forgive where I live, don't mind my dog and my house, and I just was ashamed. I wasn't proud. And that's why, I had to relive this stuff to remember that I had to go through so much to get that house. And that's why I wasn't going to lose it, because it took so long to get it. You know what I mean? And to build it into a house. But I didn't love it, I just was afraid to lose it. I hated that house, bro. I hated my neighbors. I hated living there. I just wasn't gonna, give it up because of desperation. I never even tried to get anything better, knowing they were overcharging me for rent. I just didn't try for anything better. I accepted the shithole that I had, landed in and tried to make it, better than it was. I put up fences and cameras, gave myself, just hid from everyone and tried to make it as best as I could, but I fucking hated it. Pulling in the middle of the night, waking up in the morning, I hated that place, bro. My kids did too. We liked what we had put together inside, but we didn't like where we lived. Again, when I lost it all, I didn't feel that way, but I saw the bigger picture later. Much later. It took a long time. The other day I was driving, I think it was yesterday. I haven't actually gone to the apartments. I've drove around the blocks. I've drove down Colorado, I've drove down 72nd, but I haven't gone down 72nd and Holly to where I lived. I haven't actually drove by it because I'm not ready to face it yet. I really am not. I'm not ready to sit there and look back at my past. And that's okay. One day I will be ready to stand in front of that house again. I saw something, Marshall. Did you do that? Did you really do what I said? I saw something on the internet. I never know if it's real anymore. AI creates all this clickbait bullshit. But it said that Marshall bought his old house and turned it into a museum of himself. And it's funny because in the beginning I told the guys, I was like, you could make a museum to yourselves, charge tickets and put that money to a donating cause, you know what I mean? People would come to see, you know, as I was talking about their houses and they're all built with all this shit. I don't know if it's real. I saw it on Facebook that said so. But it's like, you know, down to my, you know, God put me back in my old neighborhood with Chris. It was my childhood neighborhood. He had to literally put me back in my neighborhood for me to awaken my neighbor, you know, my neighborhood memories, my childhood memories. He had to put me back in a shelter for me to remember that, you know, what it was like for me to be in a shelter. You know, I had to be driving towards I had to be like an hour away from San Diego to remember all of San Diego. I had to go literally back to the Bay and be right back in my sister's fucking house and let her treat me like that again to remember, you know what I mean, what happened with my sisters. A lot of times I've got to relive a lot of painful things just to remember. It's not a way you want to remember, but I mean, in the remembrance of it, I get to become stronger out of it, because whatever happened the first time, this time I'm a stronger person and I can talk my way out. I can talk myself out of it. Talk myself out of it means change the way I thought about it and the way I felt about it before. So like, for example, the last thing I ever wanted everybody to ever know is that I came from a homeless shelter. God took me from camping to Arizona and put me in a homeless shelter. And by that time, I was just grateful, bro, that I had to tell people. He took me out of my tent and gave me an air-conditioned place. We have bunk beds. We didn't have internet, but we had, you know, we had TV. We had freaking bunk beds. We had air conditioning. We had 3 meals a day. We had fucking clothing. We had showers, and the dog had a dog walk. I felt beyond blessed because, you know, I was struggling to, you know what I mean, to figure it out while we were camping. And so he gave me, you know, that. Now, again, you know, I tell you that I'm currently in a family shelter. That's not something to be proud of. But when he takes you from the streets in your car, and you finally make it to a shelter, you're like, damn, I'm grateful. Let me tell you what God's done for me. But before, nah, bro, I was ashamed. I was ashamed every time God would come and save me, you know? I was ashamed. I'm gonna cry again. When I left my first, you know, baby daddy, I ended up on the streets. I couldn't manage to, you know, make it on my own. It took me nearly a fucking decade to figure it out. I was only 15 anyways, bro. I'd only learned the streets from him. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So I didn't really get my own place, you know, when I came back to Colorado till I was like, you know, in my 20s, like 21, 22. It took me a long time to figure this shit out. Right? So then you go back to the second baby daddy. The last thing I'm going to do is repeat the same mistake that I did with the first one by leaving him and fucking my kids and not being able to figure this out. Right? So, you know, I did the polar opposite of what I did in the first one, you know what I mean? I didn't free myself. Because I didn't know how I was going to, you know, I'd have to start all over. But finally I had to. And then the only thing I could do was, you know what I mean, to go into a shelter. There was nobody that could help me. I needed help. I needed out. Me and my kids needed out of his house, bro. He was becoming more and more violent. It was dangerous, bro. He was dangerous, bro. He was taking fucking pills. He was getting high on the fucking meds at the fucking veterinarian clinic. I know that's how he lost that job. He was also taking street meds. He didn't want me there. You know what I mean? He was guilted into having a family. His family would always guilt him, bro. They'd guilt him into being a dad, but he never wanted us around. He'd do it just for show, but he couldn't hold on to it. He didn't want to fucking be in our house. He didn't want to take care of the kids. He didn't want to be around us. Anyways, so, you know, they want him to look good on paper. So, like, yeah, you have I got you a house, you got a job, let's get, you know, you could take care of your kids and your wife now. That wasn't it, dude. He didn't want to take care of us. And I was stuck there. I'd left my house in San Diego to move into a fucking hell. I went from one shelter to another, bro. Completely erased that out of my memory that I had done all that. You know what I mean? I tried to forget all that I went through that much struggle with my kids, trying to get us back on, just trying to get away from him. I went through, when I left him in Pennsylvania, I ended up in a shelter there. In the middle of the night, I petitioned to the churches to help me get a ticket to get the fuck out of there, dude. They were trying to take me to court to take my kids again. So I left in the middle of the night. It was like I caught a midnight plane from Pittsburgh to California. I had nowhere to go. My brother's sister let me in, and she lets me in for a couple weeks, not telling me she's going through an eviction. She's about to lose everything and move in with her sister. Well, when that happens, I have nowhere to go, so my oldest sister brings me up there. But she's on Section 8, so she can't really let me stay there for longer than 2 weeks. There's nowhere. My other sister won't let me in, so I end up in a shelter up there. I wait for my taxes to come. I take that money and I come back to Colorado. I pay for a hotel and whatnot, but then I run out of money and I'm back in a fucking shelter. When I finally get out of the shelter is when I get the apartment that I never leave. You could say that I didn't learn my lesson, bro. Or I didn't do it right, you know what I mean? Or you can just look at the fact that I just needed help. Throughout my life, I just needed help. I needed a place to stay that was safe. And there was nobody that could offer me it but, institutions. So here I am, reliving life, but with more gratitude, stronger, wiser, more grateful, and doing it differently than what I did before. All I know is not to do what I did before because I know it didn't work. That's all I know to do. Just don't do what you did before. I don't know what else to do. But just don't do what you did before because it didn't work. You could say it did, but how could it have worked if we weren't happy? I went from one unhappy situation to another. I never found happiness. I just kept running from situations in pain. Now I don't run from them, I kind of run at them. And I find my happiness doing that. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to pain, I'm just programmed to the journey. And there's a lot of pain on this journey. It's very painful. I'm not addicted to being hurt. I'm just addicted to the healing that comes after the hurt. I know that I have to go through this hurt to get to that healing. There's no other way, so I wouldn't even say addicted, I'm just attuned to it. And I teach other people. In essence, to be strong enough to go through the waves of life like that, that alone gives you the power, and that's what people admire, is how I can just keep taking the waves, bro. Hey, it's not like they're not crashing me, bro. And sometimes I can't take them. I gotta just sink to the bottom and let it all, wait until it drains. But running from life isn't good, and that's what it was. I was running. We're gonna keep running from things until we're ready to face them. It's not gonna be easy to face them, but you have to. It was not easy to fucking face Bobby. It's not easy to face any of these things, these people, these places, anything. Going back to Jesus Christ. I'm sitting, I'm living out of my car and I go into the hotel. The night auditor is the same fucking kid that I worked with Bobby at the hotel 7 years ago. Like, I told this guy how to do his job, and now I'm homeless in my car asking him if I can use his bathroom. Talk about an ego death, bro. But at the same time, I'm looking at him and I'm like, look at where I would have ended up if I would have stayed with you guys. If I would have stayed on that track, it would have ended up here. I would have ended up at another Holiday Inn. I left the Holiday Inn to work at the Crowne Plaza, bro. You're telling me that if I would have stuck out the Crowne Plaza, I still, no matter what, because you and Steve all ended up here at the Holiday Inn? And that's where you look back, you're like, dude, it was always meant to be. That goes back to TGI Fridays. If I wouldn't have gotten into a fight over those fucking potato fries, if I wouldn't have acted stupid with the cook about potato fries and walked off my job, I still would have lost it. They shut the motherfucker down. Sweet Tomatoes, MIT. If I wouldn't have walked off that job, I still would have lost it. They shut the whole company down. It's like you have this idea that, you know, you were on the right path, but look back. That path was going fucking nowhere. You were going to go nowhere with them. And that's what I said, you know, looking at Josh. When I was working with Josh, again, I became night audit fast. I had to take that job. I had to know you had to take the night audit job to be full management. It is a manager position. The night audit is night auditor manager, hotel manager, because you're the only person. You're managing the whole hotel, just you and security if that hotel has it. You're a manager of the entire hotel for that shift. There's nobody else to call. Steve would always say call, and he woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning to send me emails all the fucking time. Go to sleep, motherfucker. I'll see you at 7. Fuck, get out of my face. Seriously. Did you do this? Yeah, I did it. Anyways, going back to it. When I met Josh, Josh had just gotten married, and he was like, I don't know, maybe 20, 21. Now he's like all washed up 30, still a night audit, you know, doing nothing with his life. Like, I don't really envy you, and I don't really regret my decision. This is just weird that we're crossing paths right now under the circumstances. And where I'm at right now is not where I'm going to be, but I know where to find you in a year from now. And that's it, bro. They're not going nowhere. It's better to destroy yourself and go on an adventure than to go nowhere with your life. Nowhere. And that goes back to my apartments, right? So here we go. Let me start with this. My apartments kept getting sold from hands to hands. They got sold right before I got evicted. We haven't found it yet. Until I run an actual application, a rental application, at this point, we can't find the eviction. Even though I went to court on it, they can't find the owner of the apartments. They can't find the name of the apartments. They can't find anything. Any paper, you know, paper trail to go back to these apartments. Now, with that being said, if I didn't get evicted, who's to say I wouldn't have got moved out of those apartments? Who's to say any of them still stay there now? Because they're not under the same management. They're not the same name. There's no paper trail to these apartments until the moment where I drive over there and verify they're still there. There's no proof they even exist, or any of the people that live there still live there either. I'm just avoiding the memory of it. I just haven't gone down that particular block. But in the essence, it's like, if God didn't tell me to, didn't take my house away, who said they weren't going to? And that's what happens. New management comes in, they up the prices, they move you out. There was only, it was only deemed to be low-income housing for, I think it was like a 10 to 15-year contract. Meaning after that, they could up the rent. It was no longer deemed as that. It was 20 years. I forgot what it looked like. But in essence, it's like there's nothing saying that I had a secure future there. God, I mean, those were trash-ass neighbors. Any new company that came in would have kicked them out for all different reasons. There was people living in their garages. There was all kinds of shit going on in there, dude. All kinds of shit. I just want to say is, like, as much as you think that you were on the right track, you were on a track to destruction. I couldn't have lived there forever. I was going to do it out of desperation, but not because it made me happy. And that's no reason to do anything. At least now I have a chance of something new. God's giving me a new direction. And now, without that, and the current circumstances, I can live where I want to now. Before, I couldn't live on the west side. Now I can. You know what I mean? Why? Because I had an eviction. Back then, I had gotten one. Where'd you get your first one? Domestic violence. I left my house. Just abandoned my house. And so I had an eviction on there. So I couldn't get housing. It's the scarlet letter, bro. Trust me. Now, if I have an eviction, they will use my whole $5,000 to pay up as much as they can to pay off the eviction, and then I'll have to outsource for rental assistance to move into a place, which there's wraparound services if that's the case. But she went looking and she can't find my eviction to where that's her job, is to see what, what it's going to cost for me to get into housing. We can't find it. Which means, I don't know, nobody went looking for the money. They filed it in court, but they didn't fucking, they didn't proceed with it. I don't know. I guess, I don't know, it's just not on my credit. I can't find it on my credit, and neither can she. She can't find any of the companies that were attached to it. And that was my only fear about the eviction, about losing my house, was I'll never be able to rent again. I built up my credit, dude. It was so close. I was building it up so I could take out loans and shit for my music career. I was at I think 756, my credit score, when I did all this to myself. Blew off my credit cards, blew off everything. I was like, fuck. I'd worked so hard. I didn't even have credit. It was bad, bro. I was really upset about what God asked me to do. But I did it. And I know it didn't look right. I was doing what God told me to do. And it didn't even necessarily feel right. I was scared to do all this, but I had to do it. Start answering those callings, okay? Hey, I love you. Laters. Bye-bye.